if you don't know my name already. If you just were scrolling through and you saw, oh, there's a live video and somebody is in outside in a building of some sort holding some yarn. So yeah, so I'm Kelly and I am preparing for my shop update on February the 28th. And I'm just going to adjust my camera. If you saw what my camera is propped up on, you would laugh. But anyway, that's beside the point. So I'm in my greenhouse. This is my greenhouse, and I've got a uh, burner here with a pot that I don't have on right now. And I've also got another one right there, which is an electric one. So I've got some water heating up and I am going to scour. I'm going to add these to the shop update at the end of February. I've got sock blanks. So these are double yarn sock blanks. So how these work is, because you're looking at this and going, but Kelly, it's already knitted fabric. Like, how am I going to knit socks out of this? So what you do is, well, what I do is I scour this and Mortant it, and then I dye it, and it'll have like all different colors on here that'll, all go together. And then it'll dry, and then I bundle it up nicely and send it off to you. And then what you do is you grab the correct end. Now I don't want to grab it because I don't want to unravel it, but you would grab the correct end and it would unravel, and you can see here there's two strands. So what you can do is you could actually knit a pair of socks two at a time and just keep pulling from this, or you could pull both and wind both into balls, or you could knit one and wind the other. Lots of ways that you can use these sock blanks, but right now these are blank, they're just knitted material. And once I've scoured and mortanted them and dyed them, they'll be pretty colors. So I've got two of those that I'm going to actually scour right now. So let's do that. So see if I can prop my phone. There we go. Perfect. Yay, that's probably the way I should have had it when I started. Anyway, so I'm going to, I have a feeling the water in there might just be for um enough. So we're just gonna put this in. So I'm just using Kookaburra. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I'm just gonna put tiny little bit in because this stuff goes a long way. And I've got, if you stick around, I've also got some other things that I'm going to be scouring today that are going to be going into the shop. And I'll show you the yarn that I dyed, the self-striping yarn that I dyed. Okay, so I'm just going to plunk this in. And this is organic, eco-washed merino nylon yarn. So we're just going to put that in there. Now I'm just going to do one at a time. Now I could do this one as well. Actually, maybe I will. So you can see what I do here. So I've got these. This one's empty. So I'm going to grab another one. That one's almost empty. Okay. Grab another one out of here. Okay. Let me get the cap off. There we go. So I'm just going to put that in here. There we go. And I'm going to And it's on. Okay, that'll take a little while to come up to temperature. So yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do with these. And oh, we've got some messages and we've got some people joining us. Hello, thank you for joining. Um, thank you very much. Hello. Um, uh, okay, somebody. Okay, I'm not following all of the comments. And this is the thing with going live that totally I totally get it. And why I hesitated to do this is because you are going to get people that just come on and are not scammers, but trolls, whatever, like, yeah, whatever. You just have to ignore it and just keep going because you're here and you want to see what I'm doing. So yeah. So anyway, so I've got that. And then I mentioned to you the self-striping yarn that I dyed for the last shop update, which was actually my first shop update, but it all sold out. So I don't have a skein to show you, but what I can show you is this is what it looked like knitted in the round for a pair of socks. So there it is there. And that's with natural dyes. So yeah. So I've got more skeins of yarn that I'm going to I already scoured yesterday and I mortared those so they're ready to be wound, yeah, into a skein to do my self-striping dyeing. So let me just see here. Okay, I'm not familiar with your username, so if you want to put in your first name, that probably might jog my memory a little bit more. So yeah, anyway. So that's the self-striping yarn. I covered the sock blanks. So those are two things that are going to go into the shop. The other thing I have that I'm in the process of doing is I have some all natural 25-gram mini-skeins. And this is Blue Face Luster. It's 100% wool. And this is what I did yesterday. I did probably 12 skeins of this. And I've got 50. Yeah, so I've got a ways to go. So I've got these going in the shop. And I've also got the, I don't have it here, do I? Did I not bring it in? Let me see. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, so this is dyed. This is not going in the shop. This is yarn that I had in my stash. But the yarn that I'm using for the self-striping yarn, the eco-washed organic, certified organic eco-washed merino nylon yarn. I know it's a mouthful, right? I've got mini skeins, and this is what they'll look like. Not this color, but this was actually dyed with indigo last year. So yeah. So no, this wasn't dyed with indigo. This was dyed with black hollyhocks. What am I saying? Yes, this was black hollyhocks. Can you believe it? So yeah. And the reason, oh, I'm going to show you this later. The reason, um, okay, what was I thinking here? Okay, yeah, the reason that I'm doing the mini skeins in the 100% Blue Face Luster is because I have a pattern that is going to be coming out at the end of March. And I've got test knitters that are working on it. I've got 3 test knitters, and most of us have all finished the blanket. We're just putting some finishing touches on them. So I'll give you a sneak peek here. So this is what my design is, and it's not completely finished. There has to be the icing on the cake. So this is it. So you use your mini skeins and you can use any weight of yarn. This is done with worsted weight yarn. You can do DK, you can do fingering weight. Actually, my the sample that I first did was with fingering weight yarn and all my naturally dyed yarn. These are not natural dyed yarns that I'm using. I'll be telling you more about that later. So yeah, so that is coming out. I started this design September, Labor Day. I took some yarn on a trip thinking I was gonna knit a different blanket, start a totally different blanket, and the stitching didn't come out correct. And then, yeah, and the rest is history. So that's going to be coming out the end of March. So yeah, it's going to have some more detail to it. It's not finished on the edges by any means. So yeah. Um, let's see here. Okay, I don't know if there's any more messages. I can't see. Welcome to the chat. Um, okay. So I've got that, and that's about it. I've got, oh yeah, I like to knit socks on 9 circular needles. So I thought that while I was out here and scouring my yarn, I turn this down a little bit now. Okay, turn that down. And this one looks like it's ready to go. So we'll put that down and add some soap to this one. So thank you so much for being here. Just asking you a few questions. You know, what colors would you like to see of sock yarn? And what colors would you like to see um, for the blanket? Because I'm gonna be those mini skeins, the 100% BFL, are going to be going into a kit to create the blanket. So, yeah. So, if you think of any colors that you'd like, let me know. Um, okay. So, that's just, so let's put this one in here. So basically what I'm doing is I'm scouring and I'm soaking the yarn and scouring all in one. So I know some people will soak the yarn first and then put it into scour, but I don't. When I go to Mortant, I definitely pre-wet my yarn first. And you think this yarn is clean when you get it, but when you're finished doing this, oh my gosh, you're just like, can't believe it. So, yeah, so this is my place. I'll show you a few things. Now that we've more or less covered the yarn and some things that I've got coming up in the shop. So I've got last month I had limited supply of self-striping yarn. This month I'm going to increase that slightly, so I'll have more. And I'll also have some mini skeins of the fingering weight yarn as well. Like I said, the BFL is coming at the end of March. So we got that done. What else did I want to share with you? So in terms of natural dyeing, right up here, I've got some yarrow that I grew last summer, and I touch it, and it's like, wow, what was that noise? Okay, we should have a fan opened in here. Um, so I've got yarrow there, and that produces yellows, which I don't like. This is the thing about natural dyeing is that at first I struggled a lot because I don't like the warm colors. I don't like the yellows and the browns and the oranges. It's not me. It's not what I wear. I I like, pinks and purples and blues and yeah. So I found out after going back and forth, thinking, well, maybe I shouldn't do natural dyeing. I should stick to acid dyes. And then I do it, and I'm like, no, but you know, I had to really ask myself, you know what? If years later I didn't do natural dyeing, would I regret it? And the answer was yes. It was like, yes, I totally would regret not doing this. So I just went with my heart. I didn't worry about anything else. And I'm having so much fun. So anyway, so what I do is I grow a lot of my plants for dyeing, and I also buy natural dyes from a store. So I'm going to show you. I'm rambling on right now. I'm trying to think of too many things and clear the dead space, the quiet space, right? Won't say dead space, quiet space. Anyway, so I grew Popeye sunflower seeds last summer, and these are all the seeds that are left over that I dye with. So I have a lot of fun with that, and it's all sealed. The other thing that I grew, which I told you at first I thought was indigo, but I remembered it was black hollyhocks, is black hollyhocks. So here's all the seeds that I've collected from my um, flowers. And if you want any, send me a direct message and I'll send you some. So you can grow some black hollyhocks. And I've also got up here some Dyer's Coreopsis. This is chocolate Dyer's Coreopsis. I've got quite a few jars of those. I've got two, two jars. Yeah. So yeah. And then my husband's brother-in-law gave me some uh, flowers that I'm gonna try and dye with and see what color I get from that. And yeah, so that's what I do. I like to, go from seed to blanket, right? So, and then I also like to dye soft yarn and knit socks. So if you're interested, um, I've got a Facebook group called Let's Knit Socks on Facebook. And you're welcome to join there. We've got quite a lot of people, actually. I think it's about 4,700 people over there. So you can join that. And I'm on Instagram. That's probably where you found me first. And as petal dot and dot pearl. I couldn't get petal and pearl as one, it was already taken. And then my website is petalandpearl.ca because I'm in Canada. So it's uh pearl is spelled Purl because of the knitting aspect that I like to do. So yeah. So we're gonna turn this down now, turn it off. This one's gone long enough. This one's now it's coming up. We're gonna turn this one down. So I will say you know, except for the expense of buying these to fuel the burners, I really do like this way because once you turn it off, it's instant. It's totally there's no more heat generated at all. So I'm going to look through your comments and I'm going to see if anybody has anything they'd like to say. So, but again, I'm learning here, so hang on. Okay, we've got add a Q&A sticker. Okay, I'll try it. Best part of being in a chat. Okay, I have no idea. This is gonna drag here to end. Oh, okay. Okay, so we're gonna try this. I don't know. Maybe this will be something that we'll do next month. So yeah, that's another thing. I plan on coming on here approximately once a month. Maybe not so much right now in the winter. So, but definitely more once I'm growing all my plants to dye with, because there'll be lots of changes from month to month, that's for sure. Yarn's easy to break. Okay. You never have enough ties when you're dyeing yarn, believe me. I have learned that the hard way. Okay. Don't particularly like the way that these mini skeins come from the supplier, but what can you do, right? Nobody has any questions for me? You want me to end it now? So I just put, if you're doing a mini skein, this is what I do, is I just take an end and then put it over my arm and then start creating my ball. So, and sometimes you might get a tangle when you're first starting, but you can just go through your yarn like this. There we go. Nobody has any questions? Okay, you want me to take off the chat then? Maybe I'll take the chat down then. Okay. There we go. Did that work? Yay. Okay, that's cool. Now I know. I'm going to open up the door a little bit. Hang on. Okay. Oh. So it is, what's the temperature today? It's probably a little cooler. Yesterday it was 6 degrees Celsius. So it was lovely. So if you want to convert that to Fahrenheit, you double it. So that's 12, and then you add 30. So yeah, it was really nice yesterday. And then I just keep winding. So my greenhouse isn't heated and I'm wearing this, so it's pretty nice. One of the nice perks about being on the West Coast. Okay, so if you like, what I'll do is I'll just take you and I'll show you. Well, there's not really much to see. I was gonna show you the planter boxes, but they're just full of composted leaves that are composting from the winter. So Anyway, I think we are almost at the half-hour mark, so I will wrap things up. Oh, here's something you might like. Isn't that cute? That's a little, tells you the anatomy of a sock. See, I told you I like to knit socks. So so we'll wrap things up. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure that you subscribe so that you get notification on when my next live video will be. It'll be next month. And thank you for being here for my first official live video. So take care. Bye. And now I got to figure out how to end this. Hang on. End stream. Okay, bye.